السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيفكم شباب وصبايا؟ شو أخباركم؟ اليوم المباراة المنتظرة بين فالكونز وتويستد مايندز، واحدة من أقوى المباريات اللي صارت للآن في البطولة العالمية لروكيت ليج. ما بدي أحرق عليكم النتيجة. بصراحة المباراة جدا قوية وجدا رهيبة. طبعا لا تنسوا تضغطوا على لايك واشتراك، خلي عائلتنا تكبر. انجوي.
The rest of the wild card goes straight to the group stage next week. Twisted Minds.
The Middle Eastern region has been bubbling under the surface for so many years now, and one third team has joined the illustrious two in that conversation, Johnny Boy.
Yeah, the main region's really starting to boil now. Twisted Minds looking to go 3-0 in the wildcard. I don't think anyone, at least that I saw, had Twisted Minds going 3-0 in the wildcard. Falcons, not as surprising to see them up here, but what a chance for Middle East to go first place. If Falcons sweep this series, they'll book a spot against Rule 1 in the main event, and more Middle East action would continue.
It'll be another huge statement from Falcons. They had to sit and watch from the sidelines during the spring major, something they will not be used to doing since the Middle East has thankfully been invited to join the RLCS, but this would be the perfect response, going 3-0 in this Swiss, doing it against Twisted Minds, and then following up with a match against Rule 1. But talk to us about the man who just hit the ball there in the air, Venom. He has been huge for Twisted Minds. Wait a second, talk about Khaled first.
Well, Venom made a save here, just to talk about him briefly, but there's more to saves in Rocket League than just getting the ball out of the net. You've got to clear it to a safe position. Venom didn't have a follow-up touch plan there. No one else covered him. It's a relatively easy goal for Falcons to start things off. Now, Twisted Minds have to get their wheels in this series early, because when Falcons have beaten them in the spring split, it hasn't been close. It's 4-1, 4-0. When Twisted Minds beat Falcons, it's close. They've both been 4-3 wins. So both teams have got 2 wins against each other in the spring split. Falcons have got some momentum when they start to get ahead, run away with it. That's a good save by TRK. Keep the 1-goal lead intact. A nice follow-up as well.
It was after bringing in Venom that Senzo and SMW really started to show their potential, taking it to Falcons and Rule 1, becoming that third team in the Middle East. But they're looking like the third team right now, the way Falcons have started. This one, a doink comes in, will lead to a chance for a response from Venom. He finds Senzo, and there is the equalizer.
Well, that one came out of nowhere. It was a turnaround for Twisted Minds in the midfield. TRK did not make contact. He's trying to get a redirecting touch to score, and then suddenly, Falcons are all out of position. Twisted Minds with a quick pass, demo, and goal.
Poor Ahmad was just knocked from pillar to post there. First bumped into the center, and a Twisted Minds teammate demoed him to make doubly sure he could not be there to make the save. Equalizer is had nice and early. You're talking about Twisted Minds having to start quick. He doesn't get any faster than that.
SMW waited late to get the reset here. The interception from Venom took the ball away from Falcons again. Look how quickly he used that flip after getting it. Khaled was not prepared. Don't think he expected the shots on target.
So talk to us about Twisted Minds, Johnny, because they seem every bit as pacey as we expect from a team from the Middle East.
Absolutely. You know, Rule 1 have sort of gone against the grain in Middle Eastern Rocket League historically. It's all about aggression and speed for this region. Rule 1, a bit more of a defensive lineup. Twisted Minds and Falcons, they play the game the same way. They fight for the midfield. They rush their challenges. This is going to be one of the fastest matchups you're going to see all tournament.
Barely a split second goes by before the ball finds its next touch on a car. Ahmad into the corner, he follows it up. SMW is there, Senzo now, just waiting for a second. Although they play quick, they don't play foolish, waiting for their opponents, juking them and surprising them all the way. Senzo does have a clean touch, he slows it down yet again. Ahmad has almost read that one, the bump comes in, SMW's over the top. No one knows what's going on. Bit of pandemonium, it remains 2-1.
Well, I think Senzo's fake on that before bumping was intentional. SMW, a bit more of a reaction to missing the ball, so they almost went for all 3 players there, Twisted Minds. Third man decided to sit back, which is fair enough with the 1-goal lead already. Khaled's found Ahmad on the left side of the field. Some time for Ahmad to make a reversing maneuver to collect the ball. Center ball will go over the top though, as Twisted Minds continues to look very good in game 1.
Great challenge though to send that ball all the way back to the Falcons half. And he'll be able to make something from it. Up against Venom, who's always there. He seems to be everywhere Falcons don't want him right now. TRK sends it forward. Senzo is going to try and usher in Khaled, getting in the way as well. So many half rotations, the cuts all over the place. TRK actually has some clean time on the ball. Another demo clears the way. Every time a player goes up, there's 2 players in front of him clearing the path.
It's all about TRK for Falcons right now. Every time he gets the ball, he looks dangerous. There's 2 players jumping in the air to defend against him there. You know, whenever I've talked to Senzo, whenever I've talked to Twisted Minds about Falcons and who they're looking out for, they all say TRK. He's the guy you've got to worry about. It was Khaled on day one of this competition. TRK completely destroyed Crew yesterday. Crew fought back valiantly, but Falcons still able to close that one out in 6. Twisted Minds starting better than their Moist match yesterday. They lost game 1 there. They're winning game 1 in round 3 of Swiss.
Peaking at the right time in the season. The World Championships, no better time. Senzo sends it high. Ahmad is on the quest to follow that one up. Senzo, who stepped in back for Falcons when they were Sandrock Gaming. The full major last year. Huge performance from him and the rest of his team. Now he's against them. Turning the tail against them yet again. TRK to the ceiling. Venom's following up. TRK gets the second touch. Now Senzo and SMW. Senzo was cooled off that one quickly. Falcons can come in. It's by no means set, this first game, with 55 seconds left.
Yeah, a bit of history there, Senzo, Ahmad and Khaled. In fact, Ahmad and Khaled have played professionally longer with Senzo as a third than they have with TRK, which is kind of crazy, because TRK's been their third for their whole RLCS journey. You've got to remember, these guys have been playing in tournaments in the Middle East and in Europe since a long time before Middle East were in RLCS. All that friendship, just a distant memory at this point as they remain rivals on the field. Just 30 seconds left in game 1. Falcons took the lead. It was Twisted Minds 2 goals in a row to take control, and now they're looking to close it out by that 1 goal.
Twisted Minds looking about as comfortable as anyone ever looks against Falcons, but that might change now. Venom misses. Senzo, he's needed. The two of them combine right in front of the Twisted Minds goal. Nervy times. One more pass into the center. Khaled's touch impeccable. Senzo was waiting for it though. Can there be one more opportunity for Falcons? They can strike in a split second. Venom's trying to make sure that won't happen, and he saves some boost as well. He floats to the ball, doesn't quite get his flip reset, but it might count for naught after that touch from TRK.
Goal 1 and Falcons consistently. In fact, Twisted Minds outdid Falcons in the spring split overall, although they were 2 series each in win-loss against each other. Twisted Minds did finish off with 4 points, the second seed in the spring, although Falcons are second seed by quite a margin when you look at the season as a whole.
Remember, Falcons have many fans still, people who believe they are the top team, maybe not quite the top, but still comfortably the second team in the Middle East and can even go far in this World Championships. The Twisted Minds making that far less likely with their performance as Venom has the ball go high above him. SMW following up the scorer of that flip reset. He fakes one out this time. That's how you keep them surprising. And then goes for a demo as well. The aggressive play on the floor is just huge for both these teams.
Yes, another chance here for Twisted Minds. Senzo puts it in the top corner. Well, Ahmad called the fake too late. Khaled couldn't catch up to it. And TRK missed his interception. That gave Senzo an opportunity. Boy, did he take it well.
Another mistake for TRK as well. A couple of shaky moments from the youngster, very unlike him. We'll see if those nerves catch up with him or if he will build more into this series as it goes on. We all know his ceiling, the brilliance that he's capable of. SMW up against Ahmad. No Khaled there. Knows his teammate, ain't like the others. TRK. No Khaled round the corner. Ahmad is there putting it into the corner again. So Twisted Minds continue to have Falcons penned back until Falcons clear long. SMW wants to put this one out wide. And he's just so good at forcing his flip resets. That was just a touch. He had it until Senzo came in. And Twisted Minds dealing so far with Falcons press.
Yeah, and more than that, they're finding very consistent ways to break out of their half. When Falcons dominate the Middle East, and when they have dominated the Middle East in the past, it's been relentless aggression. Teams cannot get out of defense against them. But Twisted Minds are doing so over and over again. They do not look outmatched mechanically. They're matching Falcons' speed and at times exceeding them. SMW with a brilliant 50-50 to bring Venom into the game. And, you know, he's missed this, but no problem. He calls it early enough and Senzo's there. Tough match so far for Falcons. They've had just the 1 goal and it was a bit of a freebie. Twisted Minds have closed those gaps. Now Falcons are going to need to work a bit harder.
So well spread out around the pitch as well, Twisted Minds. No gaps to push into for Falcons. Senzo's already there yet again. Sending it back to the Falcons half and chasing it round as well. The speed that he showed there, absolutely massive. SMW follows up. That one's dunking towards the goal and Khaled sends it forward and then turns away. And that's what I love about Twisted Minds as well. You can play as fast as you want, but if you become predictable, your opponents tend to beat you. But just those fakes, those jukes on the floor, make them almost unreadable at times.
Let's see if Falcons can do something here, not with these relentless challenges by Twisted Minds. Did somebody tell them they're the underdogs? It doesn't look like they agree. They're playing like they're favorites. They're playing like the most confident version of themselves. Really making their playstyle work well on LAN. Just over 2 minutes remaining in game 2. Falcons have not scored since that opening goal, and that's getting more and more of a distant memory with every passing second. A similar thing happened to Moist yesterday against Twisted Minds. They went minutes, games, without getting a goal. Twisted Minds defending by attacking that midfield.
An intelligent team as well, not just pace from Twisted Minds. TRK, the 50-50 against SMW, who wins it so cleanly, setting up Venom. But Khaled had to be alert at the back to do some defensive duties. Now Senzo's going to come in again. Lots of pace on this ball right now. No close touches, lots of booming. Following it up, trying to tee up something mechanical, a solo play. They seem to be the marker of this game here in Forbidden Temple. Senzo into the corner. It could be a chance for Venom to follow up if he can get this read. Instead it's Senzo who follows it yet again, trapping Falcons in their own corner, just desperate to clear their lines as much as they can. But whenever they do, the defending from Twisted Minds is perfect. That was a case of them getting each other's way though, and one bump almost finally opened them up.
And it's a tough lobby to play in right now. It's getting very congested on Forbidden Temple. Now just hardly over a minute left. TRK flies in front of the ball, bumps one defender, but there's another one. And how many times have we seen that in this game? The second you take a Twisted Minds player out of the game, another one is there to save him. They're bailing each other out. They're playing for each other on the pitch here, making it look very, very difficult for Falcons to create a chance on goal, never mind score one.
No clear-cut chances for such a long time for Falcons. Twisted Minds defending from the front to a T, keeping this ball penned in the Falcons' corner so often. Whenever it goes in that back right or forwards right, Falcons just can't escape, and eventually it falls to Senzo.
SMW wins a 50-50 against Khaled, wins one against TRK, then wins another one against Khaled. And Senzo's waiting in the middle to receive the infield pass. 2-0. Twisted Minds have dominated the midfield in this game. Falcons have hardly had a sniff of the goal, and they've conceded twice in the process.
You were saying that when Twisted Minds won, it was close. It's looking like Twisted Minds could be running away with this one. Certainly in this game they have. 2 goals to the good with 20 seconds remaining. And Senzo is still hunting for those demos, not letting Falcons have anything. Nothing can go their way because Twisted Minds isn't letting anything go their way. Senzo just pushes it into the corner.
Oh,
SMW is wasting time as well.
GG.
The game management they show, Johnny, like, as a purist of the game, you have to love that.
They're just taking no risks at the end here. That's game over. No way for Falcons to score. They know that as well, as they fail to score in the second game of this. At least a game or two for Falcons, even if Twisted Minds maintain this level. What Twisted Minds need to be careful of is not to fall off at the end of the series and get nervous like they did yesterday in their matchup against Moist Esports.
Winner's tilt is such a real thing. You start to realize, oh hey, we might actually do this. And those risks you were taking earlier in the series, the confidence that you came into it with, starts to drain. Maybe Venom can follow this one up and ensure that will not happen. The goal here for Twisted Minds, and they really start to compound themselves to the favorite in this series. Even now, they're probably far away, the favorites. The Falcons can change that in a heartbeat. TRK follows up. SMW, he's on the backboard. Armad is just waiting, seeing what he's going to do. Falcons not rushing into anything, and that is to Falcons' credit. They haven't got itchy and started diving at everything.
Yeah, just a bit of a frustrating game in the last match, really, against Twisted Minds. Falcons, they didn't make that many mistakes, but Twisted Minds just gave them nothing. And already Falcons getting a close-up view of the goal. That's a brilliant save by SMW. Not his first one of the game. Earlier on, he cuts off an infield pass with perfect awareness. Now he's the player to get the clear. SMW heavy lifting in defense for Twisted Minds.
Venom's all alone just for a second. He has his teammates hurrying back as quick as they can. Armad's in the air. That's what leads to this pressure. Armad almost gets the flip reset. Senzo knew exactly what was happening there. Made sure his old teammate wasn't able to do so. Khaled in the center. There's a pass back here. If Armad wants it, he does. Then the shot comes in, but it's just wide again. Falcons definitely opening up Twisted Minds, though, more here than they have in the rest of the series.
Oh,
they can complete the job. Armad to the crossbar. You'd bet your house on him scoring that one. Same with Khaled.
Oh my goodness.
And then missed again.
Well, multiple crossbars keep Twisted Minds at 0-0. Falcons should have scored there. Ahmad had the double, and then the follow-up shot looked to be pretty good as well. But the crossbar has said no to both of them.
Start to wonder if it's not your day. Maybe that's where Falcons are, but TRK almost gets an absolutely sizzling redirect there from in his own half of the pitch almost. But almost ain't good enough the way Twisted Minds are defending and playing. You have to have perfection And that's just not happening. That shot might be better. No, SMW equal to it again. TRK, he waits for Senzo. Twisted Mind's trying to buy some time, attempting to find some boost. Everything looking a little bit patchier for them than it has all the way through this series. SMW, though, does get that time, and the ball's going to bounce, and that's what Twisted Minds need.
So look how many breaks of rotation we're seeing as both teams try to catch each other by surprise. Boost is running low for pretty much everyone on the pitch over and over again here because the fight continues for dominance of speed. Neither team changing the pace, at least in the slower direction. We rocket on forwards, 0-0 in game 2.
Ooh.
Game 3, sorry.
Yeah, it's going so quick.
This series is going past in the blink of an eye. We've actually almost played 3 minutes of this game. This is just ridiculous. Finally, we get a breather as Hamad takes control of the sidewall. Khaled infield, but look at the cover and the infield pass. Again, anytime Falcons look for it, Twisted Minds are stopping it.
Even the switches of angle, Twisted Minds are reading those ones. Supreme confidence and belief in one another is what Twisted Minds are showing. Falcons have shown improvement though. Khaled has TRK beside him. It's TRK that takes over. Hamad is rotating back. All 3 Falcons players comfortable on boost. Pretty high as well. The demo opens things up. Haven't seen too many of those in the last couple of games. When we started with a flurry, and look at that from Ahmad, faking out the demo against him and making sure that the defending is as easy as possible for his teammates. He takes out a Twisted Minds player, Senzo's to the ceiling. Ahmad comes in, there's a mistake though from Falcons. You cannot afford to do that.
Yeah, TRK had no boost. He goes up the inside of the post of his own goal to try and get some height, but he didn't need it. The ball was at ground level, and in an attempt to get back to it, he flung himself past too early. Twisted Minds up by a goal. The boost starvation definitely had an element to play there, but did TRK need to choose that position? I don't think so.
That's what happens when Twisted Minds get under your skin. You start to overthink things and think you have to be even better than you actually do, and it's not a high percentage point difference, but it all makes a change. Senzo into the center, TRK's read it. SMW waiting yet again, Twisted Minds managing to avoid the temptation to rush. It's so impressive what we're seeing from them, the discipline they're showing, the composure. You know, this is the team that's not been at Worlds before, not been at RLCS Majors before. You'd never know it the way they're playing. Venom almost prods it over the top of the defense, and Senzo's gonna try and tackle Khaled.
You know, Twisted Minds have had one shot this game. It's definitely been a switch up from game 2 where they were the dominant team in the midfield. Falcons have had the chances. They've missed them. Meanwhile, Twisted Minds have been clinical. And we're approaching the final seconds of the game. After Falcons have called timeout, they've yet to score, but finally, surely no! Even now they're being denied.
Another massive save. This one from the infield pass. Khaled is there, wants to go for the musty. The ball won't quite fall for him. Ahmad has SMW and Senzo in front of him. He bursts it through, and still the ball falls agonizingly in front of the Twisted Minds goal. Maybe now, Khaled, he flicks it, but Senzo's there. Senzo follows. Senzo steals so much time, and Senzo gets it over the top of Ahmad. One more chance.
That's got to do it now. Khaled in field. There's plenty of defenders back here for Twisted Minds. Falcons with maybe one more chance, but that's blocked also. Can Khaled keep it up? Yes, he can. Now, Twisted Minds do not have a lot of boost here, so they do have to be careful. Falcons have got so much work to do. They're a mile away from a goal.
Oh, they've talked each other off it. Ahmad just about makes something from it, but his angle was incorrect. Twisted Minds.
Huge hit. If they can't get games here, never mind the series, their matchup tomorrow is going to be a whole lot harder. You want to get the best win-loss possible to get the best matchups in the next round. Falcons, they started off the day +6 in game win-loss. One more game for Twisted Minds, and that turns into +2.
Twisted Minds brought in Venom at the start of spring, attempting to just be in the conversation of the best team in the Middle East.
Nope.
And now with these saves, the defending that they're showing against Falcons, the ease of which they're keeping them at bay, they are staking that claim with each passing second. Senzo tries to get the double tap. Ahmad's there, but it's still a little bit desperate from Falcons. So the transition is complete with TRK's clearance.
If Ahmad had bumped SMW there, or at least chased him a little bit, the shot would have been good, but not on the same page it looks like. Ahmad slow playing in the offensive corner, offloads, but once again, Twisted Minds cuts off that infield pass whenever it pops up. Despite being stacked in defense, Twisted Minds have been all in the same spot several times. They communicate so well, it looks like double commits are just not happening, at least not at key moments.
It's like a maze. Where do you turn? Everywhere you look, there's just hedge staring at you. There's Twisted Minds Their cars in your way. SMW, he started things off for Twisted Minds with a huge flip reset, and they've never really looked back from there. As Tenzo puts that one into the corner, TRK does manage to get some time on the ball, and they can do so much with it. Twirling through the air, but SMW is already up. Venom clears long. Twisted Minds happy to just get rid of the ball for now, waiting, biding their time for what I'm sure will be a three-pronged attack.
Flip reset from Ahmad. It's been a bit more on the mind game side of plays for Falcons in this fourth game, which could be their last if they can't get a goal for the third game in a row. They scored first in this series, and it's been all Twisted Minds since then. One of the best attacking teams in Rocket League history, being made to look very average today.
Senzo puts that one to the ceiling. Is anyone following him up? Well, quite on this occasion, it's just Khaled, who does have a chance. Falcons will be sensing that Twisted Minds are a little bit looser in this game, and they're following up, and they do have their goal, and this series is alive.
Only SMW had boost. He was outplayed soundly by Khaled there. Venom, straight down the middle of the pitch there, in recovery, but not in time. It's TRK who gets the goal for Falcons, but Khaled did the heavy lifting there. Will that spark some life into Middle East's most famous team?
You'd expect that it will. And Twisted Minds will be spooked as well, perhaps. Ahmad would love to get a double tap here from the floor. Not quite there, but TRK has a chance to continue the attack until SMW clears it. Twisted Minds' backboard defense has been, at times, not quite there, but then they've saved on the goal line instead, so you can see why they are leaving it pretty open. TRK comes in. Ocala is just chasing down Senzo, but those two aren't really involved in the play. It's Ahmad up against Venom, and he forces it in, and Falcons have awoken.
More mind games from Falcons. Ahmad here brings the ball down, fakes the immediate shot. That got the pre-jump from Venom. The late flip from Ahmad pushes it past the last defender as well. 2-0. Now, do Twisted Minds need to change their pace? They're sitting deep 2 games in a row here. Like you mentioned earlier, sometimes hard to get those final games in a series. We saw it yesterday against Moist. That's a big miss from Twisted Minds as well. Falcons starting to get the better of them in the midfield. What Twisted Minds got from a 2-goal deficit.
Well, in any series, especially a best of 7, you pretty much get one freebie. This will be Twisted Minds' freebie. If they lose this one, even if they end up losing it 3 or 4-0, there's no panic, no need to change just yet. If you start going behind in the others, that's when you can mix things up, and that's what Falcons have to make happen. They have to make Twisted Minds rethink their approach, because blocking everything Twisted Minds was showing was working so effectively as SMW almost sneaks under TRK, but TRK does not care one bit, turns it around and makes it 3.
Khaled had the recovery, snipes TRK as well. He was waiting on the sidewall, the net's wide open, Twisted Minds pushing up, looking for their first goal of the game. No sweep, at least on the script right now. Falcons lead by 3. That will be a relief for them, because this was getting a bit embarrassing. They've lost a couple times to this team, but never by that scoreline. But hold on a second, that was pretty fast. Before Falcons can celebrate their 3-goal lead too much, it's now 3-1.
All the nerves raise again, and this time it's in the camp of Falcons, as Twisted Minds do get the kickoff goal to put themselves back in it, and suddenly 1 minute and 38 and 2 goals does not seem insurmountable. SMW's kickoff of TRK is fairly default, but here's Venom. He puts this one almost to the backboard. Couldn't quite generate the pace that he needed. Ahmad can wait. We saw excellent Twisted Minds game management earlier on when they were 2 goals up. And Falcons showed the same, or can Ahmad sneak under and kill it? Venom saw it coming. Oh, Khaled, he continues. Ahmad, does he turn? Not quite, and SMW has a chance to go down the other side. So TRK sneaks in there, and TRK just pushes it home, and Falcons surely secure game 4.
Well, you know, if it was Falcons' inaccuracy that cost them the last game, they've made up for it in this one. Another great shot, not the first in this series. Falcons up convincingly. Avoiding the sweep is going to be massive for their confidence, even if they can't come all the way back in this series. Best of 7 reverse sweeps are pretty rare, as I'm sure a lot of you know. And this is a good start.
Yeah, also big for their Swiss going forwards, wanting to avoid certain teams and wanting to play against others. The more games they get, the better, is the long and short of it. That's the amount that I understand. Johnny knows all the permutations. You're Gibbs, you're clever.
I mean, that's the simple way to understand it. The more games you win in Swiss, the better. It's not just about series wins. In other formats, a win is a win. It doesn't matter if it's 4-0, 4-1. But in this format, it really does matter, as we saw earlier on with the all-SSA matchup happening as a result of the 1-game Valiant earned yesterday. That really sentenced Gladiators to a pretty sad death, going 0-12 in this year's wildcard.
There's always one 0-12 team, and SMW takes that one away from Zenzo. Could have given that one a not quite photo finish, but maybe a nice piece of art could have been drawn. I don't know what I'm on about, like not a photo.
You know,
yeah, whatever.
For all you NA fans who are waiting for the last match of today, wondering about the implications that Falcons Twisted Minds has on G2 Complexity with the final match of the A stream. Well, you guys are hoping for a top-seeded Complexity or a top-seeded G2. You want this series to go the distance. To see them sitting in net, even though it can work when Falcons hit the crossbar multiple times. If Falcons keep shooting well like they did in the last game, though, Twisted Minds will need to get aggressive as well.
The marathon gradually becomes a sprint. Both timeouts have been taken, and Twisted Minds need one game before Falcons get 3. That is what matters right now. As Venom raises high, Falcons trying to build on their momentum, despite Twisted Minds using the tools available to take as much of it away from them as possible. Falcons have to start this game well, you feel. If Twisted Minds begin to run away with it, it's going to be really tough for Falcons to rally yet again.
Yeah, Falcons have, shown some promise when it comes to reverse sweeps, and it's not something that's completely unseen from them. The ball's bouncing around in front of their goal, though. They can't think too much about reverse sweeps when that's happening. If they are going to do this, they're going to need to play almost perfectly. Twisted Minds are certainly good enough this entire week to win one of these next 3 games. If Falcons have a blip, they can't afford to make any more mistakes. They've put themselves in this position. Now they've got to get themselves out of it.
Oh, they're playing well though, Falcons. TRK was searching for bumps and demos that whole time, and in the end he cleared the path for Ahmad.
TRK had the threat of the double tap there. There's the goalkeeper jumping to cover it that left the shot uncontested. That's a lot of respect to TRK there. Of course, you have to know that he can double from those angles. Twisted Minds pre-jump. Got them in a bit of trouble yesterday against Moist as well. The Falcons, bit let off the hook there. That was a free shot, but it goes wide for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, another sign that things are turning. Senzo was not missing those in the first few games. Venom will have a chance. He misses 2. He puts it into the near poast. Ahmad clears long.
My.
Senzo's missed it. This could be 2-0. TRK leaves it for Ahmad. Ahmad is saved. Okay, again, but there's Senzo. I don't know what that does to the momentum, but it was fascinating to watch.
Just didn't look like Twisted Minds have made multiple mistakes in a row, sentencing themselves to a 2-goal deficit. A heroic stop on the goal line keeps them within 1 goal.
Senzo clears as far as he can. Khalid, decent first touch to keep it in front of himself. Now SMW wants to put this one forward, but Ahmad ain't letting him. Falcons aren't letting Twisted Minds escape until SMW comes up against Khalid. Senzo with Ahmad. Senzo wants to just clear the path now for Venom. He wants to get these bumps and demos. Khalid dodges it well. And Khalid follows up too. Twisted Minds trying to take a leaf out of the Falcons book and focus on those bumps and demos.
A bit of time to breathe now for Twisted Minds. Senzo
has boost.
He's up early here. Khalid just hovering in front of him, covering the most dangerous attacking angle. Unless TRK got left in this attack. No boost and no more touches. Khalid looking to bring it infield. That's covered well. It's these kind of challenges that give Twisted Minds the most hope, I feel. These are the positions that they were making moves in Game 2, the best game that they've had in the series so far.
SMW waiting, hovering in the center. Does he go solo to the ceiling with him? Wants to get the dunk now on Khalid. He does. Is there a bump? Is there a finish? Senzo's trying to make it happen. Khalid, he got there just in time. And now Ahmad down the other end. Into the center now. Senzo cuts rotation. Twisted Minds were doing that excellently earlier, but now they're getting in each other's way. The comp's not quite as speedy. The length of a best of 7 may be starting to work against them with 2 minutes left of Game 5.
Yeah, they're definitely rushing it a bit here. They cannot afford to concede one more time. Give Falcons even more confidence. Khalid with the outplay. Ahmad read it well. And Twisted Minds did not spot it. And look at this pre-flip here from Khalid. Hitting the ball on the side that they were not covering. They thought that one was going across the box. It's actually a drop-down pass to the near post.
The magic that seemed to be defending the Twisted Mind goal is just starting to run out, and Falcons are making their way through it. Senzo wants to change it. Instead, it falls to SMW. Senzo in front of him, in front of the play, trying to bully the Falcons' defense. Gets the quick response, and that's maybe what they needed.
Oh, that's a huge chance now for Twisted Minds to put this series away. Can they roll with this momentum that they've just gotten? They caught Falcons out of position. The quick strike was all they needed. once again, another fast response by Twisted Minds.
And this time they only need 1 goal. Last time they got a response after conceding first, they still needed 2. Back in, I think it was game 3. Senzo with Venom beside him. Senzo into the center. Ahmad pushes it wide. This is what Falcons need to do. Just steal as much time as possible. TRK attempts to do just that and tees up Ahmad, who can follow it along, only back, but again, these are minor victories for Falcons at this point. Every ball touch you get, every time your car connects, it's effective. SMW's effective for sure. The flip reset, Senzo's there. Khaled has to beat Venom and does, and this is going to be tricky for Twisted Minds to rotate their way out of.
Just over 1 minute to go. Twisted Minds were about to make the upset of the day in style as well, but the Falcons are coming back at them. We saw this from Power earlier against Crew. Now it's Falcons' turn to hit their Middle Eastern brothers. A little bit of a reverse sweep. At least the idea must be setting in now for Twisted Minds. What have they got left in this game? It's been mostly Falcons for the past 3 games, in fact, including this one. Who are running the show in the midfield. Twisted Minds are fighting for it, but it's falling apart. It's another easy goal for Falcons. A double commit at the near post. That's all they needed. Senzo and SMW not talking, not trusting each other.
And Falcons are able to show some patience too, just waiting on these Twisted Mind mistakes in defense. They know goals are coming. They can see that Tokyo is beckoning. They can see that they will have the chance to get the first ever RLCS LAN reverse sweep. Maybe. We were saying history was going to be made when Twisted Minds were 3-0 up. Maybe it'll be made by Falcons in a slightly different way.
Well, you know, it would be history because at no point in the history of the RLCS has a team called a timeout while winning 3-1 and then gone on to lose the series. That's what happened in the series. Falcons called a timeout 2-0 down, lost the next game. Twisted Minds called a timeout 3-1. You know, a lead against Falcons is a lead, no matter what kind of scoreline you're looking at. Both these teams have a ton of respect for each other. Friendly rivals, but mainly rivals. As we go into game 6, Falcons 2 games in a row. And off to a good start here with a shot on net from Ahmad. It's deflected wide by TM.
What a start that would have been for Falcons to keep the surge going. Khaled, a couple of touches, and even in these early stages of game number 6, it's all Falcons. They're the ones who have possession, and they have control as well. Twisted Minds at least have some boost, and they're able to go up and breach up, but that's been missed. Ahmad gets the read, and what a save from Senzo!
How on earth has Senzo read Ahmad's touch there? I don't even know. Ahmad being up there in the first place and going for a shot, that's impressive enough, but Senzo tracked it the entire way, and he got it clear of danger also. So it's been, you know, definitely been a series full of saves from Twisted Minds that are extremely impressive to look at. Bit scary to have to watch that as a fan, I'm sure, though.
Well, you don't want to rely on them too much, and Twisted Minds maybe have been starting to, because eventually Falcons will break through. As we've seen, Senzo clears long. Is Venom able to get a redirect? Not quite, so he just waits for Khaled and tries to take out Ahmad. So no defense behind Khaled. Someone spoons its way into the ceiling. Ahmad with Venom up against him. Venom needs to show his pace. He needs to remind Twisted Minds how they've pushed so far forward since he joined this team. It's a little bit quiet from Twisted Minds. They need a spark, Johnny. Who's it going to be that will step up?
Yeah, Twisted Minds have already impressed so much this wildcard weekend, but they're in trouble now. Khaled gets the opening goal. There was a Twisted Minds defender in the area, but this time the touch did not come through. Venom jumped in the wrong direction. Khaled realized that there was a chance to force the ball under him, and of course, he wins the mid-air 50-50.
And again, it's not Falcons forcing anything. They're playing almost within themselves, totally confident that Twisted Minds are going to be giving up opportunities. And the chances will come for them. The goals will come. It's not too difficult. It's just a dunk in the air, essentially, a clean challenge. And that tries again, this time using the ceiling. So Khaled waits, fakes out Senzo, comes away with the ball, still has boost as well, up against SMW. Another challenge is won. TRK follows up. Now it falls towards Ahmad. One Falcons attack after another. Twisted Minds need to clear their lines.
You know, I feel like somewhere someone had a nightmare one day about mechanical aerially Khaled, and they woke up and were reassured by their parents, don't worry, aerially Khaled doesn't exist, but he really does right now. This entire wildcard, he has been so impressive with the aerial mechanics, something he was criticized of previously while TRK and Ahmad were scoring high-flying goals. People wanted to see more than the ground game from him, and now they're getting plenty of it.
Man's been in the advanced aerials training pack, and it is showing here against Twisted Minds. Venom, how much boost does he have? Enough just to wait, to still show patience. Wait for his teammates to come forward, SMW, but the ball's a little bit ahead of him as well. He makes something from it, but not enough. Not enough, yet again, seems to be the story of Twisted Minds the last few games. SMW will connect with this one, but again, Venom, how much boost? Not enough. Khaled beats him. So everyone following for Falcons, 2 Twisted Minds players, an unforced double commit, and that's the story at the moment.
Yeah, no shots through Twisted Minds, not a good sign as we move further and further into the series with Falcons in full control. You know, as Twisted Minds at the start, and now a complete switch of momentum. And Falcons are not making many mistakes now, if any at all. Khaled with a very safe play there, trying to control Twisted Minds, keep them from having any opportunities to get back into this series. They're the team who are leading 3-2. You'd think we'd be talking about them, about to make the big upset, but except for a few glimmers of hope here and there, Falcons continue to just dominate these games.
One goal could change that. Venom tries to get it. TRK is grateful to have this one in his own corner. They were scoring from these corners earlier, Twisted Minds. Now they're happy just to see the ball there for a second or two instead of in their own half. Stenzo's up. Venom wants to get it. Venom will get it. Is it a double tap he goes for? It is, but Ahmad was waiting to perfection. Sends it right back again. Stenzo high. No second touch is going to Twisted Minds. They have to change that.
Yeah, they had a brief chance there. Multiple players from Falcons were low on boost. It's Khaled who's just picked up 100 as once again boost runs drive for pretty much the entire lobby at the same time. That's the 1v1 play. Khaled makes it 2-0. No one gets goal side, and you need to against a player like him.
He makes it look so simple, but it's all in the decision making. The perfect touch into the corner, and then follows it through with absolute ease. Falcons look like they have grabbed and stolen and demanded that we find ourselves on Champions Field. It might be 3 years, Ahmad! They're finishing this 6th game with a flourish!
Well, after Okari started off the game with a couple of goals, now TRK and Ahmad get on the board as well. 3-0. Twisted Minds, who used their timeout just down, or leading 3-1, are on now a 3-game losing streak outside of some crazy comeback here.
Venom has to get things going, but he's not able to. Now it's Falcons who can turtle up. Just wait on their own goal line, frustrate Twisted Minds as if they're not already. Ahmad gets the save, Ahmad gets the second. Ahmad is everywhere for Falcons right now. SMW, it's just not good enough from Twisted Minds. Falcons have stepped up 5 more gears than what they were showing in the first 3 games. And Twisted Minds are going to have some serious conversations in the 60 seconds between this map and Champions Field.
Yeah, make it 70. Start having those conversations right now. No point in coming, but can they get a goal? Yes, they can. It's not a bad one. Yeah, they do need to start talking about what they're going to do here, because if they could pull up some kind of kickoff strategy, this one is still winnable. I think they look locked in. There's no talks about the next game yet. Now, what have they got in store? Because they need a goal immediately here if they're going to force the impossible comeback. They do get the ball towards SMW. He's got an option in field. Goes himself, but that's not going to work out. TRK ushers the ball to safety and confirms the tie in the series. We go, you know, if you ignore the first 3 games, this is a 3-0 run for Falcons. They're definitely on that hot streak that has had them win against Twisted Minds in the past. They just started off with a few game losses.
In 158 LAN best of 7s in the RLCS, we have never had a reverse sweep. Falcons see us on the cusp of exactly that happening. Twisted Minds trying to take over Falcons as the clear 2nd best team in the Middle East. So much at stake as Stenzo goes high and Khaled beats him to the ball.
Yeah, Khaled again getting involved early. TRK wants the impossible redirect. You can see the defender is pretty scared about that. Ahmad's maybe still not on it with that bounce. He was thinking about going back to the ball. Twisted Minds have got a good chance here themselves.
Oh!
Low rolling ball. The bump was the right idea. There was no follow-up there for Stenzo.
Yeah, sadly, the Twisted Minds players are just too deep, camped too far back. As Stenzo misses, it's a tired lunge at the ball from them, whereas Falcons seem reinvigorated. TRK shoots and surely scores, and he does, giving Falcons the lead.
I think they believe now. Yells echoing through the players' area as TRK puts Falcons up by 1. Is this going to be the first reverse sweep in RLCS LAN history? Falcons staved off one from Space Station Gaming at the Spring Major last season. Now they're the team trying to make it happen.
Ahmad wins that kickoff as well, wants to follow it home. He's up against SMW, TRK, Bronson in the bottom right. Everything is going Falcons' way.
TRK pointing across the stage at their opponents. We know he told you these guys are friends off the field, but right now, Falcons want nothing more than to embarrass Twisted Minds. 4-3, just 3 minutes away, 4 minutes away, sorry, Twisted Minds have got to do something faster. They've tried something there, fake kickoff, possession for SMW.
SMW takes a couple of touches up against Khaled, the ball in the air. TRK first to it, but Twisted Minds charging it down fast. Oh, Khaled again though. First touch always perfect. Senzo is being charged down by Falcons. A demo flies in here from Venom. All that too, can that open things up? Not at all. Here's Khaled again. 3 goals in the opening minute and 20 seconds would be a killer blow to Twisted Minds. They avoid that for now. Ahmad's touch is just met by TRK, who's facing the wrong way. Awkward times here for Falcons. Twisted Minds are in. Senzo into the center where SMW is waiting, but Falcons are charging down Twisted Minds' attack so well. Here's another example by TRK.
Twisted Minds starting to struggle even more in the matchup. Falcons are completely alive now. Khaled led the charge. Now TRK with 2 quick goals in the last game will have Twisted Minds wondering, what on earth have we done wrong to let this one get away from us? High-flying Ahmad. What's the tightest angle double tap you've seen all day? It does bounce wide.
That'd have been a very special goal from Ahmad in what's turned into a very special series as Venom tees up SMW, who just can't quite get the power. Falcons defending the backboard too well. Ahmad waiting there, hovering, exactly where Twisted Minds don't want him. Here's Venom. Can they get any bumps or demos? Is anything going to open up Falcons? For once, their backboard is clear, but still they get the ball away, and Twisted Minds are going to have to start again.
A solid defense there by Falcons. Khaled with the 50-50, Ahmad with the read on his own back wall to get the clear. Twisted Minds yet to score in the first half of the game. They've been under pressure for most of it. Quick turnaround from Khaled will send the ball into the middle again. TRK denied the hat-trick.
Senzo had to be brave there with TRK charging down against him and Senzo backwards. And that's exactly what he was. Never shying away from the challenge of Twisted Minds. Pushing Falcons all the way. That one's going to fall maybe to Senzo. SMW can take a couple of touches.
Senzo, a fair play, he didn't see the whiffs coming. I mean, that needed to be 2 whiffs in order for him to have a chance, but he actually got 2 whiffs. They're not going blindly for the ball anymore. They're maybe overestimating Falcons in the final minute.
SMW clears. Senzo hovering still in front. The harsh rotations were so effective for Twisted Minds earlier. Can they be so now? TRK doesn't have this read. He does in the end. Venom, it's Senzo who takes the shot. SMW's turn. Senzo can't rotate because Khaled just clears long. Twisted Minds are running out of time.
It's been a massive game for TRK. That was a brilliant save to keep Falcons' 2-goal lead intact, to keep the clean sheet intact. Just barely over a minute for Twisted Minds. Venom running ahead of the ball here. He's making multiple paths across the box to try and get a bump, but the ball is just not arriving quickly enough. Can Senzo get it on target? No, it's a center ball, but SMW is right on top of him.
Yeah, no angle, no team play from Twisted Minds. Exhaustion surging through them as Senzo will try one last time. 55 seconds remaining, 2 goals needed. TRK bullies his own team out the way. Such is his desperation for the ball. Now SMW just gets met again by Ahmad. Falcons are charging them down so quickly.
And just 40 seconds left. Twisted Minds had this one in the bag. They had 4 chances to advance into the group stage. They've failed 3 of them, and they're about to fail the 4th.
Oh!
That's the goal, though.
Oh!
This time he's ready for the misplay at the back post. And with just 29 seconds to spare, they're back within a goal.
Senzo, you snuck in there. Gave Twisted Minds a chance. This is the 3rd time this series. They've given themselves an opportunity for a late equalizer. Is this the time they're going to take it? We've seen kickoff strats before. That one was just a charge into the center, but it does fall to Venom.
Yeah, Venom again looking for the bump ahead of the ball. Khaled dodged it. 50-50's it. And that's the strong challenge now. Can Venom get this middle? He doesn't. The miss is costing more time for Twisted Minds.
This one's going to go. It's going to fall down.
Oh, that's not
Falcons, 7 seconds away. Senzo's there.
Venom.
There's fakes happening. There's misses. And there's clearances from TRK. SMW to the ceiling. Senzo's underneath it. Everybody's desperate for the ball. But it's not going to happen. Takeover? What takeover? Falcons remain the kings of MENA and put Twisted Minds in their place.